Hey everyone, welcome back. You ever notice how music and politics, always seem to find each other?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, get this. There's this whole movement, right, called hip hop meets politics, and it's taking that connection to a whole other level, ready to dive in.
Absolutely. Always up for exploring where music and politics collide. Sounds fascinating.
Right. So imagine this. Public Enemies Fight the Power. Not just a song, but like a whole political platform. That's the energy we're talking about here.
Wow. Okay, I'm intrigued. So break it down for me. What exactly hip-hop meets politics?
So it's spearheaded by this guy, Robert Strader. He goes by The Vegas Don.
Ah, Vegas Dawn. I like it.
Right, and he's working within the Libertarian Party of Nevada.
Interesting. Now, I am not hugely familiar with the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
Could you give us a little rundown of their main beliefs, just so we're all on the same page?
Of course, yeah. So at their core, individual liberty, limited government, free markets, that kind of thing.
Okay, so how does that connect with hip-hop? Because, on the surface, they seem kind of different.
Right, but that's what's so interesting about this whole movement. They see these strong connections between, say, the messages in hip-hop about self-reliance, challenging authority, fighting for social justice,
Right.
And they're linking those to those libertarian values of individual freedom and pushing back against systems.
Huh. I see. So it's about finding common ground in those messages of empowerment.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that they totally acknowledge hip-hop's history, like its power.
Yeah.
They give shout-outs to all the legends, like the pioneers, Curtis Blow, Grandmaster Flash, but then also modern icons, Jay-Z, Kanye, Kendrick Lamar. It's like they're saying we see the impact hip-hop has had.
Yeah. They're recognizing that legacy. That's smart.
Right. It's like we see you, we hear you, but then it's like, okay, how do we channel that into actual political action?
Right. Because it's one thing to say hip-hop is powerful, but turning that into votes, into policies, that's a whole other game.
Exactly. So how are they calling on the hip-hop community to actually get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're putting out a call to action. Right? Like, they want the hip-hop community to engage, but they're not just saying, go vote. It's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's like they're pushing for a fundamental shift in how we even approach politics.
So more about, disrupting the system, not just working within it.
Exactly. And they're playing on this idea of 2020, right, 2020 vision.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Clarity, a turning point,
It makes you think about all those times artists have been super vocal about politics.
Oh, absolutely. Think about Nina Simone, right? Those powerful anthems during the civil rights movement.
Right.
Or Public Enemy, calling out police brutality, systemic racism.
Yeah.
And even today, you've got Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, all using their platforms to speak out.
Totally. But this movement, they're not just saying get involved. They're saying align with the Libertarian Party.
Right.
What's the strategy there? Why not encourage engagement across the board?
Well, they believe the current two-party system, it's just not working.
Okay.
They see the Libertarian Party as a way to shake things up, offer a real alternative.
So it's like by mobilizing the hip-hop community, which has always been about empowering the marginalized.
Right.
They're hoping to completely change the conversation.
Yeah, and they use this phrase, drastic measure of change, which is interesting.
So what does that actually look like to them? What are their concrete goals?
Well, smaller government, for one. More individual freedom, less government intervention in people's lives.
So they're taking those libertarian ideals, but framing them in a way that resonates with hip-hop's desire for social justice.
Exactly. It's about drawing those parallels between self-reliance and individual freedom.
Fascinating approach.
Yeah.
But how does this actually play out beyond just, the messaging? What concrete actions are they suggesting? Yeah. So they've got this message, this link they're drawing between hip-hop and the whole libertarian thing. But what's the plan? What do they actually want people to do?
Well, they're calling for a lot of things, actually. First off, just straight up voter registration, getting people registered, getting out the vote, especially within the hip-hop community.
Makes sense. Got to have the numbers if you want to change the system, right?
Right. But it goes beyond that, too. They're talking about local politics, running for office, getting involved in those town hall meetings, holding politicians accountable, and they want hip-hop artists to really use their platform.
To educate, to get people fired up, make politics feel less like, politics.
Exactly. It's about building from the ground up, using that hip-hop influence,
Yeah, totally. So it's not just about voting, it's about changing the whole vibe around politics.
Exactly. And music plays a big part in that, too. They want artists making music that makes you think, that starts conversations, challenges your views.
So it's really multifaceted. It's voter drives, it's supporting candidates, it's the music itself, it's being present in the community. They're really trying to blend those libertarian ideals into everything hip-hop represents.
Yeah, ambitious, for sure. It'll be interesting to see what actually happens. Will we see more artists running for office, more politically charged lyrics?
Right. Will those hip-hop campaigns become a thing?
Who knows? Yeah. But it makes you wonder, right? Could this be the start of something bigger? Could we see this in other genres?
Whoa, like country music meets libertarianism. Or EDM for economic freedom.
Exactly. It's like, what if this is just the beginning and this fusion of art and activism starts popping up everywhere?
That's a wild thought. Well, it definitely gives us something to think about. So for everyone listening, today we took a deep dive into hip-hop meets politics, a movement that wants to combine the energy of hip-hop with those libertarian principles. They're really urging the hip-hop community to get involved, challenge the system, make their voices heard. Whether or not you agree with their political stance, one thing's for sure. It's a super interesting example of how music and politics can intertwine to create social change. This could be a whole new rhythm for the political world, and we'll be watching to see where it goes. Thanks for diving in with us.
Freedom, equality, justice, education, diversity, change. This is Hip Hop Meets Politics.
Hip Hop politicians, hip hop politicians, hip hop politicians, hip hop politics.
This is Hip Hop Meets Politics with your host, Robert Strader Jr., also known as the Vegas Don, America's first hip hop artist to run for a U.S. political office. Now, let's get into the conversation.